One question I often get asked is what camera straps am I using? So in this video we're going to look at 3 camera straps that I use for the Leica camera system and also for any other kind of small cameras. Let's take a look. Welcome, Matt from MrLeica.com. In today's video we are talking Leica camera straps, or camera straps for Leica cameras and any other small camera, whether it's a small SLR camera, any other rangefinder cameras. I'll try and keep this video super short and we'll go through 3 different camera strap brands and look at the pros and cons of each system. Let's dive straight in. So the first camera straps that I discovered and kind of bought into when buying my first Leica M9 back I think 7-8 years ago was a strap called a Gordy camera strap, which are kind of small wrist straps. I'll bring up their webpage so you can see better. These are kind of small leather wrist straps where you can colour code depending on your choice. You can choose the colour of the stitching that goes on kind of the top bit. And here I've got one in action on another camera. So I've got one red and I got one in blue. And then these are obviously just wrist straps where you put your hand through as you'd expect, tighten it up with the loop, and then these are super secure if you want to kind of walk around town taking photos all day. I wouldn't say these are suitable for big heavy cameras because the weight is going to be on your wrist all day, assuming you're carrying the camera in your hand and not in your camera bag. I tend to use the camera, put it back in my camera bag. So this is the strap that I've used, as I say, since I started with Leica. This is obviously not a Leica, but I guess it shows it can be used on any camera. You'll see this camera featured in a future video. Okay, so in terms of keeping it quick, I'd say to summarise, this strap is reasonably affordable. I think they're around $15 maybe. The US company. Leather, really strong, very practical, nice and light, nice and small, simple. Kind of, it ticks my practical box, so I really like them. And then in terms of wrist strap versus normal neck strap, for weddings I use neck straps, for everything else I use wrist straps. So I did actually purchase a kind of a similar design, very simple leather neck strap, and it's got kind of similar stitching, but I think this is a different make. I'm not sure where I found this one, but just to give you an idea, I find if I'm multitasking I'll have 2 cameras around my neck at different heights, like one here for example, so they're not bashing into each other. And then when I'm doing weddings I might have one on a wide lens, one on a longer lens, for example. And so for that reason, neck strap equivalents of these wrist straps are really good, and the Gordy do make neck straps and wrist straps. So that's number 1. Okay, so for camera strap number 2, this probably relates to more typical Leica photographers. I think typically Leica photographers like to buy a nice camera and then they like to buy an expensive strap to go with their expensive camera and their expensive lens. And obviously there is a huge market. If you search online for leather strap for Leica, there's almost endless. I'll bring up some photos, you may recognise the common ones. I particularly like the red ones, but equally I think that brings attention to you. So some people may want the extra attention. Here's my nice Leica, and here's a red strap to draw the attention to my nice Leica. Personally, I rather kind of blend into the background. I don't want to be waving at people saying, hello, I've got a really expensive camera for you to steal, kind of thing. But what I'm getting to is there is definitely a market for premium camera straps for Leica cameras or any other camera that you happen to love a lot, whether it's your Sony or your Fuji or whatever. This is actually a sponsored video in that a company sent me some straps for free around 12 months ago, and I've been using them ever since, and I promised I'd review them once I'd actually used them for enough time to give them a real kind of review. I didn't want to be one of these channels where you just get it free and then do a video and you've never really used it. So this video is sponsored by Hawkesmill, England. They make handmade luxury leather camera straps and leather bags. Again, I'll bring up a website so you can see. And also I'll link all of these straps below, whether it's the one we just looked at, this strap or the next strap. I'll put all links in the description, so if any of them may tick your box, then by all means you can find them down there. So the awesome guys at Hawkesmill sent me 2 camera straps to test. One is their wrist strap. You can see it on my Leica M240. And this is a slightly heavier duty, much more kind of premium feeling strap compared to the cheap straps we just looked at. So probably more typical for anybody looking for a nice strap for their nice camera, so to speak. Obviously they both do the same job. They both attach your camera to your wrist. But I think if you're going to buy a nice camera, you may want to spend a little bit more money and get something that's nice to go with your camera. They do various colours. Again, check their website. I think they do kind of light brown or tan colour, dark brown and black. And they do wrist straps as in here, so I can put it on. Same design, same idea as the last one. You've got a tightening loop, and so it's now secure on your wrist. And then you can walk around and no one's gonna snatch the camera from your hand, if that's how you kind of think of using a strap. Really nice soft leather. And as I say, I've been using this for a year and you cannot see any wear on it at all. I'm not just saying that for the video. As I say, I've had these long enough to give them a good run, and it still looks brand new. And if it'll focus, you can see the name there. And there's hardly any wear on it at all. So option 1 from them, wrist straps. For someone like me who likes wrist straps, perfect. But they also do neck straps. And I guess before I continue, I think if you're going to buy a premium strap, it's worth having one camera, one strap, and you buy the strap for that camera. Maybe that's common sense, but you'll see what I'm getting to in a second when we look at the third strap. So for that reason, if you've got one really nice camera, it's probably worth getting one really nice strap. My Leica M3 is kind of my most treasured camera. It's the best rangefinder camera, I think. Send your agreement or disagreement in the comments below. So obviously, amazing Leica M3. And a Leica M3 deserves a nice strap. So this is the, get the light on it, can you see the logo? It has a nice wide neck strap. If you can see the wide bit where your neck goes, like so. You'll see this in some of the older videos. This lives on my Leica M3, and if I can make it focus, again, it's kind of a nice protector, so there's no wear on the actual camera itself, which is obviously important with nice cameras such as this. And then the stitching is still completely intact, and there's no kind of loose threads or anything like that. So although like wrist straps, if I'm using multiple bodies, which I'm often doing, sometimes it's quite useful to have one as a neck strap and then one in your hand as a wrist strap, because then what I can do is, or what I do is, I'll have one like this, take a photo, I'll drop it and keep it dangling on my arm like so, pick up my M3, cock it, take the shot. Such a nice viewfinder. M3 viewfinder, the best. And then again, I've still got it around my wrist, so I can then go again. So equally for weddings, sometimes if I'm using 3 bodies, if I'm shooting film and digital, I'll have say 1 digital around my neck or 2 digital around my neck, and then I'll have a Billingham bag across me, a small Billingham Hadley digital, the small bag which carries like 2 bodies and a few lenses. Then I'll have a 3rd body on a wrist strap, probably say a film camera, and then I can pull it out the Billingham bag, take my shot. So this is how I'm using multiple cameras, I guess on the same shoot, without having to kind of put cameras down on the floor. And I guess as another teaser, this lens will come in a future review as well. I know a few of you keep asking for it. This review will be coming. And then lastly, number 3, if you already use these, you will know how amazing they are. And if you've never seen these, you will soon realize how amazing they are. So these are called Peak Design straps. If you saw my Hasselblad H2 video and happen to look closely, if ever you see that red tab on a camera, that means they're using Peak Design camera straps. So the most common strap you can buy is just a normal neck strap. I've got this, as I say, on the H2 because it's a heavy camera and I rather use neck straps for heavy cameras. The dust all over the camera. I'll show you how it works in a second, but basically the normal Peak Design camera strap is like, great, it ticks the box, but it's kind of no frills, and it was kind of so simple and so kind of modern. I didn't really want to put it onto my Leica cameras. And that may sound really stupid, and normally I'm not that image conscious, but even for me, it was a bit too simple and plasticky for my Leica camera. But then recently I discovered this. This is the Peak Design wrist strap. And you might be like, oh yeah, amazing, a wrist strap. Big woo. But it is really useful. So firstly, you can get them in black or kind of tan and grey colour. You can see the logo. So tan one side and then grey on the other, or you can get black. Now this may sound stupid, but just the fact that it had the tan on and grey was enough for me to think I'd be happy to have that on my Leica. So with the camera not attached, basically when it's not in use, you wrap it round on itself, and there's a little magnet inside the leather bit, and then you can wear it as a very cool wrist strap or not so cool wrist strap, but either way it does the job. It keeps it out of harm's way, and then you can carry on with your whatever you're doing until you need to clip it onto your camera. Why is this strap useful? It's really useful for people like me where you're using multiple small cameras such as these Barnett Leicas. There's another one, and you see the tab on the bottom. And then when I'm on one of my model trips overseas and I'm trying to pack super light, I can put the tabs on all the camera bodies, and then I can just take one camera strap. And so then I can take, say, 4 camera bodies and 1 wrist strap, and it just simplifies everything. And then when you come to use it, you just drop that down. I'll do this close up so you can see it in a second. You basically put the circle into the black holder, pull, and there we have it. And now I have the camera on a wrist strap ready to go. If I then want to swap bodies, say I've got one camera with black and white, one camera with colour loaded, press, unclip, pick up the next body, clip in, good to go. And then the other camera is packing really small into my camera bag. I think the Peak Design wrist straps are stylish and really functional and kind of practical. And for that reason, they really do tick my box for when I'm trying to pack super simple and super light. So this is my most recent camera strap, even though I've been using the system with a normal neck strap for maybe 6-9 months. On other cameras, maybe longer, maybe 12 months. So in summary, if I was buying a new camera strap today, I probably wouldn't look to buy the Gordy strap anymore. Obviously it's still very functional, but I think the Peak Design cuff wrist strap takes it to the next level, because instead of me needing 5 wrist straps for 5 camera bodies, I can carry 1 wrist strap for 5 camera bodies with 5 tabs. You can buy packs of the extra tabs on kind of Amazon or whatever. So if you don't have enough tabs with the original strap, you can buy extra tabs. I've got tabs on the Lumix GH5 in front of me. I've got them on the Hasselblad H2. I've got them on the Barnex. Really useful. And I think the wrist strap is the perfect addition. So if you're like most people and you use one Leica, I'd look to get a high-end camera strap that will last you hopefully as long as your Leica will last you, especially if it's a classic like this. And then for modern cameras or using camera systems, I would recommend the Peak Design. I hope you found that useful. Let me know in the comments what's your favourite camera strap brand, and it'd be interesting to see who uses what. I know there are quite a few popular ones out there. I particularly like the red ones, as I say, but I'm always a bit worried that they're a bit too bling for me personally. Hopefully back tomorrow with a 3rd video. I'll do my best. Thanks for watching. Bye.